Guys, today on People Now, The Favorite and Roma come out strong in the Oscar nominations. We are breaking down all those noms for the big show.
Why is Blac Chyna accused of neglecting her daughter?
Oh, the drama. The Bachelor didn't disappoint Monday night. Our panel is ready to relive our favorite moments with Colton Underwood.
Plus, India Eisley is here with details about working with Chris Pine and Patty Jenkins in the new series I Am the Night.
It's all today on People Now. Here we go, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, I hope you had a good long weekend.
Yeah, and a lot going on
here
today. It's very cold, but maybe the fact that we have such a packed show is going to heat us up.
Oh,
Get the engine running. I don't know.
That's it.
Welcome to People Now. Good to see you. Okay, so all the Bachelor drama. The gloves came off last night with the first group date. Beauty pageant rivals Hannah B and Kaylin went head-to-head. We saw this coming 1,000 miles away, and you couldn't look away.
Got so intense when Hannah B went to Colton to confide in him about her and Kaylin's rocky past. So why do you think she told him? Because she cares about him, or she just really hates Kaylin?
Maybe both things could be true at once.
People poll, or you can tweet us with your answer with the hashtag #PeopleNow.
We're going to check in on those answers a little later. We're doing a full recap of last night's episode in a little bit as well, so stay tuned for that. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. The 2019 Oscar nominations are in. The Favorite and Roma lead the way with 10 nominations each. It was also a historic day for comic book fans as Black Panther became the first comic book movie to ever be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, which is a really big deal. Here are the nominations. For actor in a leading role, Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate, Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Christian Bale for Vice, Viggo Mortensen for Green Book, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. For actress in a leading role, Glenn Close for The Wife, Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, which we loved. That was it was your favorite for sure. Lady Gaga for A Star is Born, and Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. Roma getting all kinds of love, as we mentioned there. For actor in a supporting role, Sam Elliott for A Star is Born. He was amazing in that. Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, Mahershala Ali for Green Book, and Sam Rockwell for Vice. For actress in a supporting role, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk, Rachel Weisz for The Favorite, Marina de Tavira for Roma, Emma Stone also for The Favorite, and Amy Adams for Vice. So some really strong categories there. Here's the big one. The nominations for Best Picture are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. That's a tough category. I don't know who's taking home the win for that. There are so many strong movies there.
I mean, I hope it's The Favorite.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk all about it. We're going to be chatting with People senior editor Jillian Telling later in the show about some of her picks.
Yeah, so stick around for that. We'll break it down. Switching gears now to some more serious news. Police responded to a call over the weekend that Blac Chyna was allegedly neglecting her daughter, Dream Kardashian. On Sunday evening, the LA Police Department arrived at the 30-year-old mom of two's home, but did not find any evidence of a crime. Now, according to TMZ, the caller reported that Blac Chyna was drunk and unable to take care of her 2-year-old daughter, who she shares with ex-Robert Kardashian. TMZ also reports there was a nanny at the home helping care for Dream at the time. Now, Chyna allegedly got in an argument with her makeup artist earlier that day, which could have prompted that call to the police. That dispute clearly didn't get resolved overnight as police showed up again to Chyna's home on Monday afternoon. Now, the LAPD tells People they were there regarding a civil standby. In other words, to keep the peace and prevent an additional argument between Chyna and her makeup artist. Now, TMZ reports that the makeup artist arrived with the police to pick up some stuff that she had left at Chyna's home the night before. As far as her home and family life goes, though, Chyna has definitely had a rocky few days. Last week, the mother of two challenged her ex Rob Kardashian's claim that she physically abused him at sister Kylie Jenner's home in September of 2017. Kardashian is seeking $500,000 in damages for battery, assault, and vandalism. We'll keep you posted on that on People.com. All right, Bebe Rexha is calling out fashion designers who say that she is, quote, too big to dress for the 2019 Grammy Awards. The 29-year-old singer has scored 2 Grammy nominations this year, but's having a hard time scoring a dress. Rexha posted on Instagram Monday night to express her frustrations. Take a look at part of the video here.
So I finally get nominated at the Grammys, and it's like the coolest thing ever. And a lot of times artists will go and talk to designers and they'll make them custom dresses to walk the red carpet, right? Like you go to any big designer. So I had my team hit out a lot of designers, and a lot of them do not want to dress me because I'm too big. Literally, like I'm too big. And if a size 6'8" is too big, then I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, is that shocking?
It's
I would think
ridiculous.
designers would be falling over themselves to dress her. She's such a star. And in the second half of the video, Rexha, who says that she varies from a size 6 to a size 8, continues to defend herself and all women by saying refusing to dress women that are a size 8 and up is saying they're not beautiful and cannot wear designer dresses. In the caption of that video, Rexha challenged designers. She said this, quote, "If you don't like my fashion style or my music, that's one thing, but don't say you can't dress someone that isn't a runway size. Empower women to love their bodies instead of making girls and women feel less than by their size. We are beautiful any size, small or large." Well put there. Again, I'm shocked by this, right? I mean, this is unbelievable. It's 2019. Here we go. Dress designer August Getty has since responded to Rex's post. Got some attention here, offering to make her a Grammys gown. Here was the comment: "You are beautiful. Just let me know when I should start sketching." Which sounds like a great deal. I hope that works out.
I mean, no, like you said, it's ridiculous. And who wouldn't want to dress her? And I'm so glad she called it out because it's not acceptable to not dress someone that's 6 to 8 is very small,
It's the kind of thing
too.
that those are the type of conversations that are probably always going on behind the scenes. She's like, nope, I'm putting it out there. People need to know about this and continue moving the needle in the right direction.
I'm really glad that she did that.
Yeah. All right, you have more for us in Star Treks.
Yes, I do. All right, we're kicking off today's Star Treks by putting the kibosh on some dating rumors. Reports have been swirling regarding a possible relationship between Brad Pitt and Charlize Theron after they met on a commercial shoot last year, but a source with knowledge of the situation tells people it is not true. The source revealing about 6 months ago they did a shoot together. They have not been out together recently and were never dating. Reports of them being involved romantically are false. I'm kind of sad about that because I think they would make a great couple.
Yeah, right.
But Pitt and Theron first met on a shoot for Breitling watches alongside Star Wars actor Adam Driver. Reports from the UK Sun newspaper have suggested that the couple started a romance around Christmas time and hinted that Charlize's ex, Sean Penn, actually introduced the couple. While neither Pitt nor Theron have commented, our source says the tabloids are just false. Now, Pitt, who divorced from Angelina Jolie in 2017, has remained relatively quiet since the split. He just wrapped filming with Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie in Quentin Tarantino's new movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Very excited for that. Theron also underwent a public breakup after breaking off her engagement to Sean Penn in 2015. Well, Ariana's got some news, hot off her new single, 7 Rings.
Wearing a ring, but ain't gonna be no misses.
Ariana Grande revealed she's got another album ready to drop, even though she just released Sweetener in August. This is kind of crazy and sudden. In a series of tweets on Sunday, Grande wrote, 2 albums in 6 months, huh? That's deep. Love you. Talk soon. She followed up with a post saying the album's cover and track list would be posted on Friday, and the album will also be available for pre-order that same day. Now, Grande hinted the album would be another tribute to independent women. When one fan claimed, "You're gonna make everyone single," Grande simply replied, "Happy Valentine's Day." This is so soon, Jeremy, but I'm really excited for her.
Well, I mean, look, Sweetener released with that whole Pete Davidson thing going on. Obviously, she's driven by the passion regarding her relationships and all the things she's going through. If she has more music to put out, I say, like, do it. Strike while the iron's hot.
Also,
Fans are there.
Yeah, and it's perfect timing for Valentine's Day. It's
Yeah.
all about independent women. I mean, the Sweetener album was her 3rd #1 on Billboard 200 charts, so this one could probably get there as well.
Yeah.
She's just cranking them out.
You think about this. So Thank You Next is this breakup anthem. She's making it clear she doesn't need a man. She can move on. There's more to life than that. I say, again, I just say, like, keep releasing the music.
You know
Everyone's here for it. Do it.
I can relate to that, so I'm all about this independent women song, so go for it.
Yeah, dating's not always pretty, guys. There are
No, it's
downtimes
not.
in between.
All right, those are your Star Treks for today.
All right, stay with us. The reboot everyone's talking about, Roswell, New Mexico, airs its 2nd episode tonight. It's going to be a big one. The show's star, Jeanine Mason, tells us what we can expect. Plus, TNT's I Am the Night is getting so much buzz right now. We're joined live by its star, India Eisley. We're going to break all of that down for you. We can't wait. Stick around. Okay, we've all heard of this 10-year challenge by now, right? Where people are posting the photos from 10 years ago, a photo from this year.
Yeah, this kind of blew up last week. I definitely participated.
Yep.
You did too. There were 5 million posts across all social media. Celebrities were doing it. Kind of comes after the Bird Box Challenge, the top 9 photos of the year.
There's a lot of these trendy things that happen usually around the beginning of the year, the new year and all that. This one raising some concern. Some people kind of in some newer buzzy comments are saying, was this a ploy by Facebook to use and develop better facial recognition data?
Sounds like some paranoid people. but there is some truth to that. So Facebook quickly denied these theories, saying, quote, this is a user-generated meme that went viral on its own. Facebook did not start this trend, and the meme uses photos that already exist on Facebook. Facebook gains nothing from this meme. That's what they said.
That was basically their quote saying, like, don't worry about this. We got your information a long time ago.
Well,
We've got all your photos already. But as a reminder, Facebook users can actually choose to turn facial recognition on and off at any time. I don't know. This is something that Facebook has come under fire for even, I don't know, the past year or so. Personal information allegedly sold to Cambridge Analytica. That was a few years ago. So there's a lot of this type of talk and what they're doing with the data.
And Facebook currently says it has no plans to make people's facial recognition data available outside of the platform. So you should know that there isn't a law stopping them from sharing people's facial recognition data if they want to. Some people are really concerned about this.
This is when you're accepting those terms and that you never read. You just click through. Okay, I'm accepting it so I can be a part of this fun social media thing. And then there, maybe some terms in there that you're not aware of.
Yeah, I mean, social media is supposed to be fun. We participated, right? I know.
Oh, yeah, well, since we're talking about it, look at this.
Fine. I know. I still have the over-the-shoulder look going on, but that's from 2009. Oh, Jeremy, wow.
The only thing that changed is a beard and a lot of bronzer.
Yeah. I think these could be worse. I think, wow, you were on a carpet in 2009. Was that a carpet?
Yeah. Was that 2009? Maybe it was 2012. Who knows? Whatever. It was a while ago. Look, guys, think twice. Be cautious about what you put out there, but have fun with it because they already have all your info.
The nominees for the 91st Annual Academy Awards have been announced, with British dramedy The Favourite and Netflix's Roma leading the pack with 10 nominations each.
Here to help us dive into all the surprises, the snubs, is senior editor Jillian Telling. Jillian, thank you for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over, but first of all, what are some of your initial reactions to this year's nominees?
Well, Roma and The Favourite getting all those nominations, not a huge surprise. Everybody thought that would happen. Bradley Cooper getting shut out for Best Director, big snub there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not having a great morning.
He got some other nominations.
He did.
It was still represented, but you were Buster Scruggs with, you got more than maybe.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Out of nowhere.
That is on no one's radar. Got a bunch of nominations, so good for them.
All right, let's talk about this. Breakdown by category here for supporting actress, right? The nominees are Amy Adams for Vice, Marina de Tavira for Roma, Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk, Emma Stone, The Favourite, Rachel Weisz, The Favourite. What sticks out to you?
Margot Robbie from Mary Queen of Scots is missing in this category. I thought she did a really great job.
Claire Foy, right?
Claire Foy from The First Man, no, not nominated. A lot of people thought she would get that.
Yeah, she's had some buzz in previous shows and things. People have given her a lot of love.
Yeah,
so
she had a great American accent.
Yeah,
First Man.
It works. Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this time. Yeah.
For lead actresses, the nominees are Yalitza Aparicio for Roma, Glenn Close for The Wife, Olivia Colman for The Favourite, Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born, Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Now, Glenn Close and Lady Gaga, I don't think anyone is surprised here. Are you surprised by anyone else included in this list?
Not surprised. Well, Melissa McCarthy, I'm a little surprised. I thought maybe Nicole Kidman had a shot this year for Destroyer. Mm-hmm. She's been in 3 movies past couple months. She really was gunning.
Let's just say in Destroyer, she, really transformed.
Transformed. Yeah. She looked different. She was very gritty. That was very Oscar performance.
Melissa McCarthy, though, I thought she did a really good job in this.
She did.
I feel like what might benefit her some is we're so used to seeing her comedically, even though she's done some dramatic stuff. She really took on full serious drama here and pulled it off. Really
pulled it off great. Yeah.
Yeah, and great support.
And still found some of the comedy in that curmudgeon type role.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't think she's going to win, but wouldn't you want to hear her speech if she did?
I would. Maybe she'll post it anyway. All right. Supporting actor. The nominees are Mahershala Ali, Green Book, Adam Driver from BlacKkKlansman, Sam Elliott, A Star Is Born, so good. Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Oh, blew me away. And then Sam Rockwell in Vice playing W.
Right.
What sticks out here for
So it's the Battle of the Sams. I'm very happy about Sam Elliott getting this, actually. He's been acting since the 60s. He always plays this sort of stoic cowboy type, but he's finally getting recognized for getting nominated for an award, which he deserves.
Bradley Cooper gave him a lot of credit throughout all this.
And so did Lady Gaga. Everybody really loves him.
I like that he has a history. He's been acting for a while and kind of earns it.
He's instead of just cowboy guy. But he brought some real emotional depth, I thought, to that movie.
And if there was ever a question about Bradley Cooper's ability to bring enough grit, Sam Elliott's character came right alongside and really took the grit to full legit status of that. So really
all right, so for lead actor, the nominees are Christian Bale, Vice, not surprised, Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born, Willem Dafoe, At Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. So what are your thoughts on those nominees?
I was sort of surprised by Willem Dafoe. That sort of seemed to come out of nowhere for me. People had been talking about Ethan Hawke maybe getting that. Ethan has never gotten it. He's a real actor's actor, so I thought it might be his year.
Ethan Hawke got more buzz than Willem Dafoe, so that was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, it took me by surprise.
So let's talk about Rami. He won the Golden globe for obviously playing
Right.
Freddie Mercury. He's in Paris for a Paris Fashion Week event and had this to say about that monumental role. Take a look at this.
Was the role of a lifetime, I could say. Very, very difficult shoes to try to fit into, but you know, it was a challenge that I wanted to take on. I think what's life worth if you don't take a few risks? And this was a pretty major risk to take, but somehow we pulled it off.
As we see there, I'm pretty sure this role has forever upped his wardrobe game. Rami Malek just killing it, right?
Right, totally. He's like the man of the hour.
He is.
So no surprise there.
No surprise there, no. I mean, that was also a box office favorite. I think it just hit $800 million, so
Is he taking
he
the
can
win?
make some money.
Is he taking the win here?
I don't know if he's taking the win. He's got one win already.
Yeah.
They might sort of want to spread the love.
love a
Who do you think
Yeah.
might take it, though?
I mean, it could be Bradley Cooper since he got shut out for director, and I don't know if Star is Born will take pictures, so they might need to throw him a bone, actually.
Yeah, speaking of Best Director, so let's talk about this category. A lot of people talking. So you got Spike Lee, BlacKkKlansman, Paolo Polikowski for Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. So yes, no Bradley.
No Bradley, which is too bad, but good for Spike Lee because he's never been nominated, which is crazy.
Like Spike Lee needs to take this home. This feels like the moment for him.
It feels like it for me too.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Spike.
And that movie, BlacKkKlansman, was so good. It was so clever. The tone was great. The messaging, obviously, very heavy and pertinent to everything going
He's
on.
done so many movies for so long.
Yeah, right.
So it's Spike's.
It's one of those things.
I'd be so happy if he won.
Most people on the street would think that he's
won,
already
like,
gone through this
yeah,
1,000 times.
yeah.
Right. Anyway, all right. So let's move on to this. Some surprises in the Best Picture category. Black Panther got a nomination. What are your thoughts on that? First, comic book-based movie at this level to get that kind of attention.
I find that to be very exciting, and in fact, I'm sort of pulling for it to take Best Picture. But there was a couple things that didn't get the nomination. Mary Poppins was a big one. A lot of people thought that was going to get nominated.
That felt like kind of a shoe-in as far as the lead up.
And Emily Blunt didn't get it for, actress. So Mary Poppins really did.
Why was that overlooked?
It didn't perform much.
I don't know why.
There's
I don't know.
little
Maybe,
music
Oscars are obviously very serious. Most of the categories are fairly serious. Or most of the films are very serious. So maybe they didn't want the fun, frivolous film.
Yeah, and as a reminder for that category, it's Black Panther, BlacKkKlansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice.
You know, one thing I like about the Black Panther nomination as well, there's always conversation about what types of movies, just generally speaking, get that Best Picture nom. And the fact that that would move in the direction of sort of full superhero, full blockbuster, tentpole movie is, I think, a good move in terms of inclusivity on many levels, including obviously like the diversity.
Right, it's a fan favorite, and sometimes it's very rare that the fan favorite, the real sort of blockbuster film wins.
I mean, I'd be
that'd
happy
cool
for Black
if it
Panther.
did.
I do say, though, my favorite movie of the year was The Favorite. So I just think it was
Favorite
so
was your
wonderful.
favorite.
And such amazing women just leading that movie.
Yeah, it was great. I like A Star is Born.
Yeah.
Honestly, I loved that.
One thing we're not seeing here in the Best Picture category, if Beale Street Could Talk, which did get a little love elsewhere, but was that a surprise to not see it?
That was a surprise. I thought that would get more love than it did, actually.
And it was one of those that in some ways snuck up a little bit. Like it was sort of a late in the season press and everything.
Yeah, it got it had some buzz, but it didn't sort of perform as well as I expected. Either of
Well,
the
guys,
stuff that we're here.
It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Watch it if you haven't.
fabulous.
It's incredible.
So let's go. What are a few of your predictions for some of the categories?
I think Glenn Close will probably take home Best Actress. I think Lady Gaga will definitely get Best Song, but I don't think they're going to give her Actress and Song. I'm not sure about Bradley Cooper. I said earlier I think that he might get Best Actor since they shut him out a little bit elsewhere, but we'll have to see.
You think Christian Bale? You're pretty big on Christian Bale.
Well, I mean, Christian Bale is like the obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
He gained weight and he's this method actor, but he's had some
And strong
awards before.
political statements tend to do well, right, with the Academy.
Yeah,
And sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So Vice definitely had a statement or two.
It had a statement. He had a statement or two at the Globe.
And he had a statement or two.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, Jillian, hey, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
It's really great to see you. An exciting award season going on. Make sure to tune into the Academy Awards when they air February 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Jillian will be watching with us.
I will.
Well, guys, you might know Jeanine Mason from So You Think You Can Dance. She won that competition in 2009. Or from Amy Sherman-Palladino's Bunheads, or maybe TGIT, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, you
Hello.
probably know her. Now, she's starring in a reboot of Roswell called Roswell, New Mexico. Now, for all you purists out there, it revisits the original book series Roswell High, and Jeanine plays one of her favorite characters, Liz.
Here's the catch, though. It goes 10 years into the future, so all your favorite characters, they're now complex, they're complicated adults, maybe a little jaded. You know how it gets with age.
And of course, it's Roswell, so the whole Aliens Among Us thing in this small, sleepy town is alive and well. The show premiered last week on the CW, but its second episode is the big one. Take a look at this little preview.
You gonna arrest me, officer?
No. Too much paperwork. That'll be our secret.
Another one.
I drive you home?
I mean, the big revelation was at the end of the pilot when Max says he has information about Rosa, about what happened to my sister. 2 is a big episode. There's a series of scenes where Liz really gets onto a certain scent and is investigating. 2 really sets our season ablaze, and it's time to figure out what really happened to Rosa.
Now make sure you catch that episode when episode 2 airs tonight, 9, 8 Central on the CW.
And I think we all remember the old Roswell.
Yeah.
Sherry Appleby starred as Liz in that one.
Yeah, she's actually returning to her roots by directing an episode of the reboot. So we had to ask Jeanine if they got a chance to maybe swap some notes.
Our show moves so quick once we start pulling at the threads. It just unravels so rapidly. By the time we get to episode 5, it's like a full-out thriller, and we are running after the answers. And when we get to 9, there's some big stuff that happens, and stuff that I think people will be very ready for. And so it was so fitting to have Sherry Appleby direct that episode. Sherry was so complimentary, and she just was so supportive and champion for my version of Liz Arteco, you know. And it was so fun to talk to her about the way Liz feels about Max, because a lot of that is still in there. Sherry could speak to that so perfectly for me. The way she was remembering giving herself as-ifs for every time she would look at Jason Behr, and the way that made her feel, and where she felt it in her body. And I just remember being like, just trying to absorb everything she was giving me and trying to put it in my body and play with that. Such a giving director. Really loved working with her.
So Jeanine is really excited about how the season ends. She thinks fans are really gonna love it.
Now, we mentioned Grey's Anatomy a little earlier. Jeanine played Sam, a brilliant, driven surgical intern who moved from Seattle to Switzerland to avoid being deported to El Salvador. We remember that storyline.
But would she reprise her role if the opportunity presented itself? Please say yes. Take a look.
Oh my God, I would absolutely return to Grey's in a heartbeat if, you know, if I could and if they'll have me. I love imagining Christina Yang and Sam Bello just fangirling her little face off, working across the table from her. It would just be the coolest thing ever. So I love that that's where she exists right now in my imagination of her. But I had the best time on that set. I actually just a little bit ago got a text from Giacomo Giannotti, who plays Dr. DeLuca on Grey's, and just wishing me the best of luck for our premiere. And it's just a really beautiful environment there. I'm a big fan.
It was the battle of the beauty queens, the showdown of the former pageant girls. Kaylin and Hannah B had it out on Monday night's episode of The Bachelor. It was very dramatic.
Lots of dramatic, the most dramatic ever. Joining us now to break down all of the drama is People's own Jodi Guglielmi and Bachelorette alum Lucas Yancy. You know him as Waboom.
Waboom in the
Lucas,
house.
there he is.
Where am I? Am I here?
There he is.
You're here.
There he is.
All right, let's get into it. So Hannah B opened up to Colton on the group date about her past with Kaylin. So take a look at this.
Then just like as the year went on, there's like just a few things that happened that like I guess like a fallout, I guess you could say, and like we hadn't talked to each other since.
Is there something though, like, because you said a lot of things happened, is there something that I should know?
I think it's more like I was just in a high stress situation with her, and it was like the most hostile environment I've ever been in.
This was weird. Okay, so
Hear me if I whisper.
Luke, let's start with you. You had your own drama with someone you knew before coming on the show on your season. Is Hannah B, is she right to bring up the past? Are her intentions in the right place? What do you make of all this?
What I know is that bringing up the past is always an issue. They, of course, want to make sure that that kind of happens. But in this case, I think it's it's all Hannah on her side of the boat. So I would say Hannah's kind of the Blake in the situation. I think Kaylin's just being honest, sincere. She has a great connection. And unfortunately, she kind of has to bring up this past drama just because it has to be like said. You know what I mean? And it's kind of an unfortunate situation, but.
As I'm watching, I also feel like I can sense Colton just being like, all right, we have to do this because it's the show. We have to do the drama. So Colton then went and talked to Kaylin about the whole drama. She didn't really address anything, broke down in tears, saying she wasn't expecting to talk about her past tonight. Colton comforted her, gave her the rose. So do we think that is his sign that he's into her more, or was it a pity rose?
I think that it was the sign that he's a little bit more into her, because you could see when he was talking to Hannah, he was just exhausted by the entire thing, didn't really want to be in the conversation. And then he goes and talks to Kaylin. She starts crying. He immediately goes and picks up the rose in front of Hannah, which I think is a sign in and of itself.
That's true. That's actually a bit, the fact that it was in front of her in spite of all things that had just been said and done, that is a big sign.
Yeah, it was so much of the episode because it spilled over into the pool party. And we see Colton conflicted over his decision to keep them both. Lucas, you think he should have just sent them both home and just got it over with?
No, I think it's obvious that he has a great connection with Kaylin. I think it definitely, no questions asked, was a pity rose to Hannah. I mean, it's like the battle of the beauty queens, as you said. And, it was a pity rose. At the end, it's like, you're welcome to get the rose. And she's still complaining after she got the rose. Like, what more do you want?
Waboom's not having that. Not having it.
I just want to know, what actually happened. Because they're so vague about it. No one's saying the details. Like, if I had more of the story, then maybe I could kind of choose, like, oh, that person actually is kind of cuckoo.
And I think that's where Colton's frustration comes from, because they're really just mimicking each other. They're kind of just saying, oh, we handle stress differently.
Yeah.
But then they're also like, she's manipulative, she's toxic, she's deceitful. And clearly, something happens for two girls to go from being quote-unquote best friends to mortal enemies.
So where's the rift,
It's also funny if he handles stress differently. Like, what does that mean?
Right. It can just mean so many things. And I think that's where you see Colton just kind of being like, okay, guys, like, let's just get down to what actually happened.
Yeah.
And neither of them really want to say.
Let's just say the producers are doing everything in their power to keep them on the show as long as possible. One person also that they're working for, causing the waves, Demi. So she came out swinging at the group date, goes after Tracy, called her out for side comments, even commented on her age. Ouch.
She loves to do that.
Loves to do that. She knows how to play the game. But is Demi in this for the right reasons, or is she really looking at a spot on Bachelor in Paradise or something? I don't know.
I think she's definitely looking for a spot on Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, the girl knows what she is doing. And the fact that you can read every thought on her face, I mean, she's made for Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, Yancy, what do you think?
I think that she's playing the game so hard. I mean, she's kind of doing the Corinne card, but with a little less class, in my opinion. I think that she's kind of doing everything in her power to talk shit about a girl who's older, when she said, I think she lost her virginity when she was 12, which, I don't know if that's better.
She said the last time she dated a virgin, she was 12.
Yeah.
I think that was a joke. But it's something like that.
She's a wild one. She's doing what she can.
Okay, let's move on to this girl, though. So Colton's second one-on-one went a lot better than his first. Take a look at this.
1, 2, 3.
What's your name, babe? It's nice to meet you. Colton works with his charity with kids that are hospitalized and getting them out on dates like this, which is really, really touching.
My name's Colton. Nice to meet you.
I saw you. I watched Bachelor and it's my mom all the time.
You did.
To be able to see the smiles on these kids' faces, I'm not sure who is smiling more. I'm a smitten kitten right now.
As smitten?
I love her.
So even though they didn't truly have the entire day to themselves, it kind of let Elise see what Colton is really like at his charity. What do you guys think of Elise? Are these two a good fit? Let's start with you, Lucas.
I think that she's a sweetheart. I mean, she's very hot. She's very attractive personality. I think Colton's really into her. I think that she's gonna make it to the final 6. I think that they have a great connection, and I think this date really shows a lot about both of them. I really think Colton's doing a great job at the end of the day. He's up against a lot of things in his life, and I thought this was a great date to show both of their hearts and souls. be honest.
She also has so far kind of had this soft edit, right? Like she's lingering there, she's strong, but we haven't gotten her into a lot of the hardcore drama yet, which is, I think, a good sign.
I think it's a really good sign. I think that her calm demeanor and her underlying confidence, I think Colton was really attracted to that. I think probably after some of the things he was going through on the group date, that was a nice escape to kind of have a no drama, get to know each other's situation. So I think he was into it.
I like that she's sweet and just no drama. We have enough drama with all the other girls, so I love Elise.
So let's talk about this. We've been debating this a bit. The workout date that they go on with Colton.
Love it.
Was this a cruel thing for producers to do, or is it so critical to Colton's lifestyle that he needs someone he can work out with? What do we think?
I'm telling you, take me on a workout day and I'm walking away immediately.
Okay, so you think like cruel and
I don't
unusual.
want to work out on a date. Like, why?
Okay.
But I get that it's a big part of his lifestyle. But also, again, you need me to do a pull-up to prove that I can marry you?
No, I'm so competitive that I would have been like definitely all about this date.
Well, Lucas, what do you think? Yeah.
Just to interject, I mean, you're working out hardcore for 6 months before the Bachelorette starts. So these women aren't their first time in a workout. And I think it's a fun date. I think there was definitely a driver in the car, pushing
that part was weird, yeah. That was so dumb.
Like, okay, we get it. It was really fun as a little bit on the show. But.
Okay, let's talk about this last girl. Okay, Caitlyn. So she's kind of worried she was falling behind. Didn't seem to open up to him at all during their time together. Colton actually sends her home, which I was shocked about. What were your thoughts on this?
I really wasn't that surprised. I mean, he was trying really hard to get something out of her, and she just wasn't giving him anything. I mean, I get that it's a high-stress situation, but when he says essentially, what are you looking for in a partner? And she says, someone to go out and have fun with my friends. If he's looking for a wife, that might not be exactly what he wants. Again, I think she was super sweet and she was trying her best, but not everybody works in those situations.
I'm just surprised because he kept Hannah B after that terrible date.
Yeah.
When it seemed like he had to pull every word out of her.
He was like, bye.
Yeah.
But I think Hannah B and Kaylin are setting up for a 2-on-1, so there might be a reason to keep Hannah B around.
Should we go ahead and say that 2-on-1 will probably be in the desert, and someone will probably be left on a draped couch?
Yeah.
Doctors, the whole deal. I think Caitlyn, to be honest, was given the short end of the stick there because, she was like grilled by all these questions. If you grilled all those girls with the same questions, they'd be like, yeah, I like husbands and.
All right. That's a very good point. All right, before you guys go, let's take one last look at our People poll. We've been asking why you think Hannah B really confided in Colton in last night's Bachelor episode. Does she like him, or does she just seriously hate Caitlyn? Let's check in on the results here. She really hates Caitlyn.
Yeah.
That's what our poll says. What do you think?
I think she really hates Kaylin. I mean, she is just. She said her rage tank is full, and I believe her.
Beautiful monster inside.
Beautiful monster
rage
inside.
Tank is full.
Yeah.
Lucas?
Yeah, I think she deep down, really hates Caitlyn. I think it has to stem from Miss USA pageant, all this stuff about being the better, peacemaker or something. It's. I think she definitely hates her. I get it.
Well, I think that more will be revealed before they're gone about what exactly is behind their rift. We'll find out. Anyway, Jodi, Luke, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
One more Waboom on the way out? No? Maybe?
Oh, Jeremy, anything for you, man. You got it.
Still got it, guys.
Amazing.
That's right. It's early there, too. All right, keep up with Colton's Journey for Love Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on The Bachelor.
So the 25th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards is coming up this weekend. We're going to be there on the carpet for the official People Entertainment Weekly and TNT Red Carpet Live pre-show.
Woo, very excited for this,
Pumped, so make sure you guys tune in for that.
To get you even more excited, we are going to be doing some SAG Trivia this week leading up to that big award show. So today's SAG Trivia question of the day. Here we go.
What did Rami Malek keep from the set of Bohemian Rhapsody and have plated in gold? Was it A, the piano, B, shoes, C, prosthetic teeth, or D, microphone?
Drum roll, please.
Here we go.
And the answer is C, prosthetic teeth.
He actually told me that on the carpet for the premiere of Bohemian Rhapsody that he got them plated in gold, and I asked him, where do you keep them? Because where would you keep the gold-plated teeth? And he said he couldn't tell me.
Because then everyone would be after him.
Yeah.
He would be looking around his house or whatever.
But I think it was really cool, and that really made his character, too.
That is so cool. That was a great little tidbit. I haven't forgotten about that. We're going to have more SAG Trivia tomorrow and every day this week leading up to that show this weekend. Stay tuned for that. All right, guys, you know this. We are crime obsessed here at People Now. So when Haley Joel Osment stopped by, we went from talking about his past as the little kid who could see dead people to his future role in the highly anticipated Ted Bundy film. It's called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
Ooh, scary. Now the cast has been pretty quiet on the details so far, but Haley gave us a little insight on what to expect. Take a look.
There's this strange obsession we're at culturally with crime stories, true crime, and some of the strange celebrity status that's been reached by many of these infamous killers.
Yeah.
Tell us about this and what are we going to get with this new project?
It's a fascinating film, and yeah, it's about Zach, who plays Ted Bundy, and his wife Elizabeth Klepfer, who was ambivalent about his guilt right up basically to the hour of his execution. He was a pretty skilled manipulator of lots of people in his life, and basically anyone he could exert any sort of power over, he tried to take advantage of that as much as possible. And it's about his trials and his 2 escapes from prison when he went on the run in the 70s and 80s. So yeah.
So much hype around that film. Look, the I don't know, dark obsession with crime that we have never ends,
No,
right?
I know, and oh my gosh, seeing Zac Efron in that role, I'm very, very curious as Ted Bundy.
As soon as I saw the first images of that, I was like, Zac Efron looks far too kind of handsome.
But then when you see
and then you see the Ted Bundy,
I can see it. I'm really curious to see like how it does. Maybe it's a future award contender. We'll have to see.
All right, take a look at this.
All my life, people have looked at me. I just want to be normal.
Listen there, I just want to talk to you for a second.
Like everybody else. I found out I was adopted, so I came to Los Angeles. Found my real family.
Very intense. Looks so good. I Am the Night premieres Monday on TNT. And joining us now, India Eisley, who stars alongside Chris Pine in the show. India, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to see you. How you feeling?
Likewise. I'm good. I'm good, yeah.
We're excited to be talking about this. There's a lot of buzz for it. Let's try to set it up here, because it's very tangled, but here we go. Miniseries, it's based on the true story. You play Fauna Hodel. This young woman goes to LA looking for her birth parents. She's been raised by an African-American woman, thought she was mixed race. Turns out, not so quick. That's not the whole story here. Somehow, things go off the rails. It's tied in with that infamous Black Dahlia murder. That's part of the plot. Man, there's so much to unpack, but what did you think of the story and the script when you first saw this thing?
I mean, not all of the material had been released to me when I was auditioning, because it came about as just another audition. Obviously, the main draw for me was to work with Patty Jenkins, because Monster it had such an impact on me at a young age. And then, obviously, after booking the job, I went and bought Fauna's book on Amazon and read it cover to cover, and was just flabbergasted about this woman's life. I mean, it's unlike anything I've ever read or ever heard of.
Yeah, now, obviously, when it's based on a true story, it kind of raises the stakes. Now, unfortunately, Fauna passed away before shooting, but her 2 daughters were on set. So what was that like, having them there on set?
It was honestly just as human beings. They are just extreme lights of human beings just to have around, and their presence was just very warm and lovely, and obviously it was helpful in with little things, different personal anecdotes with oh yeah, mom used to think that, or yeah, mom used to say that, and so little things like that they would add.
Did it make it more stressful having them there, or it helped the process?
It helped also. Like I just said, it was just their whole essence of them, as hokey as it sounds, just was very comforting.
That makes a lot of sense. Was there anything that they pointed out to you that was like, oh man, this is something that mom did or said that really that you recall?
There was. It would be a bit of a spoiler though.
Oh really?
Towards the end of the series.
Ooh, you'll tell us after.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Chris Pine co-stars. He does this great job as well. This journalist, he's a Korean War vet with PTSD, and sort of at this crisis point in his career, all this bizarre stuff happening. He seems like the kind of guy who can be very intense, very honed in, but also that he could be kind of playful.
Oh, he can be goofy.
And kind of goofy. That's what I was going to say. Like, and he has goofy moments even on camera. What were you most surprised by in getting to know Chris Pine?
Honestly, just that. He is a goofball, and I tend to be. I'm a terrible giggler.
Are you?
So, yeah. So.
Well, you don't like the way you sound, or you're not?
Well, you giggle
I'm
a lot.
A terrible giggler. Like
oh, it happens all the time.
Not all the time. Like I'll be very, poker faced and very straight until one thing makes me laugh, and then I'm just messed up for the entire day. And so he was like, "I'm gonna make you laugh," and it's like, no. And he was like, "I'm gonna wait until you have a really emotional scene, and I'm gonna make you laugh." And I was like,
and then you're in your head.
Oh, that's so hard.
Did it?
Oh.
Yeah, I completely forgot we had that conversation until the end of, until a very emotional scene came up, and he was like, It's like, no, it worked.
Oh man, Chris obviously had a big role in Wonder Woman. You mentioned Patty Jenkins directed Wonder Woman, also directing this. That must be really cool, working with her. I mean, are we seeing you going to be in the next Wonder Woman film? Is
I
that
see it.
how-
I mean, honestly, I would play a lampshade if Patty asked me to, and also just to be on one of her sets again. It would be a dream.
Yeah.
Biggest takeaway of working with her?
Honestly, just how lucky I am to have worked with her, but also just to know her as a human being. She's a very rare person.
It's got to be one of those things too, someone you've always looked up to, and then you get to not only meet them, but work closely. The stakes are high, they say don't meet your idols, but seems like it was a really great experience there, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it just, the entire job just ticked all of the boxes, really. It was working with her, working with Chris, great writing by Sam Sheridan, and the time period, I've always wanted to do a period piece in the 60s, and so it was just...
Well, let's talk about this. One thing people may or may not know, your mother is a famous actress, Olivia Hussey, who starred in the 1968 version of Romeo and Juliet, the original It, which scared me to death when I was a kid.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what kind of role or advice did she maybe give you as you kind of embark on your career?
I think honestly just to, when I initially got into it, said, yeah, I want to do this. She just, to have a thick skin, but also retain your, sensitivity.
Ooh,
how young were you when you watched It with her? That was
oh God, no, not with her.
Oh, you didn't watch it with her?
No, I mean, firstly, I don't think she was going out of her way to watch it because she does, I mean, who's like,
Doesn't
let's watch me.
Oh, people don't do that?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I think they do. She's not one of them though. But I must have been about 7. Like, it was naughty. I shouldn't have been watching it. I don't recommend other 7-year-olds ever seeing that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible. She actually just put out a tell-all book last year, The Girl on the Balcony. She opens up about a lot of hardships that she went through, including overnight stardom, being in an abusive relationship, surviving sexual assault. I mean, was she always open with you about these experiences? And what have you kind of learned about these experiences that she went through that you kind of now apply to your own life?
Yeah, I mean, my mum's she's a very twee lady. She's wonderful and quaint, but she's very resilient and very strong. And, she was always very open about different experiences and anything. She was an open book, and she is my best friend. So, it was always very, free game.
It seems like that would be so helpful in encountering Hollywood and all the challenges of Hollywood and in this era of it, that would be something that would be so helpful going through and going into it with that type of knowledge and that sort of person behind you.
Yeah, and I think also she instilled in myself and my brothers is having a good sense of self. Because, you can't really base everything, especially in this business, you can't really base everything on what everyone thinks of you. So
yeah, what a challenge! Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, especially with social media and like reading comments and stuff. You just not even look at.
Telling everyone, I'm like not good at social media. I'm a very poor millennial.
No, you,
it's
hey, I think you're probably better for it. Let's just stay away. You're already past it. Let's just keep going.
I think
Another note here: fans obviously know and love you from The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Do you still keep in touch with anyone from that?
Darren Kagasoff, who is actually in New York now filming. He's a dear friend, just a wonderful person, and Mark Derwin, who played my father, he was lovely, and
yeah. Well, it's so great. That still sticks, and people
I
are
know.
still people are still into it.
Yeah, reruns, man.
Yeah. What
intense.
Yeah. All right.
Do you ever watch when it pops up on
I love when a 12-year-old runs up to me and is like, wow, you look so much older now.
Please. That's the curse of doing it when you're really young. What are you gonna do?
Well, India, thank you so much for stopping by.
So good to talk to you.
It's the 6-part miniseries, I Am the Night, premieres Monday, January 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to check it out.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Mädchen Emek is here spilling on all things Riverdale. We love the show. We can't wait to find out about that.
Plus, maybe one of the cutest guests we'll ever have on the show. Instagram sensation Just Home the Dog is stopping by. Be sure to tune in. We'll be asking him all the
Andy, have you ever even heard of that? You're not on social. You probably don't even know what that dog is.
I'm just like smile and nod.
Yeah, looks good. But it's cute. That's a cute pup. Thank you for watching, guys. For now, we leave you with one last thing from the star of my favorite show, Dr. Pimple Popper, Sandra Lee. Bye.
Enjoy if you can.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Lee, aka Dr. Pimple Popper, and this is one last thing. Last thing that made me laugh out loud when Jeremy told me that he likes butt facials. Last time I was recognized, yesterday there was a guy who was driving a big van with a book on a book tour, and he said I should be on that van. I think I should be too. Last place I was asked to pop a pimple. In my office, I guess, the last time I was working. I mean, that's usually where I do it. I don't really bring my equipment anywhere, so it's hard to do it on the fly.